We would like to welcome you back to another episode of the Boldcasters. Special edition. This is going to be local exclusive and a little more freeform. My name's Clay, and I would like to bring in my co-host,
Justin.
And Jay.
What's new in the world?
Crane Ramen is new in the world.
Crane Ramen?
Hipster noodle bar from Gainesville. So cool.
Hipster noodle bar.
How cool is it to spend $15 on something you could buy for like 50 cents?
But you can also get in the picture, they have a full liquor bar, so you can get your ramen.
Well, that's the only way I can eat ramen is if I'm drunk.
That's what you're supposed to be doing if you're eating ramen. You're supposed to be well past drunk.
Okay, so to spell out the story, there was going to be a hip new food truck restaurant in 5 Points
Called the Happy Grilled Cheese.
It fell through.
Food truck's still there, but
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine. Now this new ramen place is coming in, and it's a trend that hasn't hit Jacksonville. Obviously, I'm sure I sound like what folks sounded like about craft beer. Why would I spend that much money on a beer? I'm sure it's good. It's just not my thing. I've never been huge on ramen. Are y'all ramen guys?
No.
I did when I was poor.
Even in college.
And I'm even mediocre poor, but I'm not really poor.
I mean, even in college, I never did that.
I mean, I did just because there was a whole bunch of us living in a house in Riverside, and we were being very thrifty.
Yeah, but
so even that was stretching it.
So
I'd always doctor it up with celery salt.
Celery salt. Nice. All right, this is not your 25-cent bag of salty sadness from Walmart. This is the real Japanese ramen, painstakingly prepared and enjoyed by every working class person in Japan, and more recently made famous in the U.S. by guys like David Chang and Ivan Orkin. I'm guessing that I don't know. I don't follow those guys on Twitter or Instagram, but I'm guessing they're celebrity chefs.
I have no idea.
And yeah, I mean, part of it's just growing up in Jacksonville. We have
barbecue.
We have Japanese restaurants.
Yeah,
but we don't have like a big Japanese population.
A little more in the Philippine, Vietnamese.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we got solid pho.
Yeah.
In this town. I mean, we got that going for us. I can be discriminating against that with ramen. I don't know. I
don't know where that would fall. I mean, it sounds good. I mean, I'll try it. I don't know if I want to pay $15 for it.
I'm stabbing in the dark.
Oh yeah, it's going to be between $12 and $17.
Well,
and I saw a bottle of Jägermeister. What bowl of ramen
requires a bottle of Jägermeister?
Well, you
would pair well with that.
No. And second of all, I'm not going to drink Jägermeister because I'm just not a fan. Last time I drank Jägermeister, it was down in St. Augustine, and I had to mix it with Goldschlager, and it wasn't a good night.
Why? Ugh, God.
It's the only way I could drink it, so I had to make it worse.
That sounds disgusting, because no one even likes Goldschlager either.
Hey, Goldschlager wasn't too bad.
You couldn't pick a worse mixer.
Yeah. Actually, when you mix the two of them together, it's called liquid cocaine.
This liquor is just terrible. Let me add something cinnamon to it.
Yeah.
It kind of diluted the licorice taste. That's the only reason I could somewhat drink it, but I can't stand it. I really can't.
I don't even know what to say there. I'm at a loss.
So, I mean, progress is still rolling through in the Riverside area. Like, as soon as a space is not spoken for in 5 Points, somebody else is taking it.
Yeah, and that's
absolutely. And
that's a positive. That's a huge positive, because I remember before years ago, every time something and stuff is lasting there, which is awesome.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking back to from the time we got out of high school to now, the shops have completely changed a couple times.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Fuel Coffee House, Club 5.
I think the only thing that's still there is this the Wall Street.
Yeah. What about Birdie's?
Yeah, Birdie's.
Has that been there the whole time?
Birdie's has been there, but it used to be called Starlight.
Yep. I think they kept like same kind of logos.
Very similar.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I don't know if it's the ownership, but it used to be something.
It's still basically the same place.
Concept,
you still have antique stores, but they're different antique stores.
Yeah, you have different antique.
Like
Park Place is still there.
Constantly changing. Park Place and the Derby hat became the Derby on Park.
Yes, I missed the old place, but yeah,
it's basically similar.
Similar, but much more upscale.
Yes.
It used to be just an old classic diner. Greasy hangover food and all.
It's now a place that my dad will drive from Orange Park to go to.
Well, that's
which is
fancy.
big. I mean, he doesn't go to Riverside for anything.
Because the parking's hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
I personally love the old place. Growing up in Riverside, I used to love the old Derby. It was a nice place to soak up the alcohol. And you guys used to have the newspaper stand right there at the corner. Is that even there anymore?
No, it was bought out by...
No, people still read newspapers. That's still a thing.
Yeah, but it's not the newspaper store, bud.
Fair enough.
Oh, man, I miss that old newspaper stand. I used to always get my Wall Street Journal right there. Florida Times.
But you got that going on in 5 Points, and you're seeing the same thing with Brooklyn. I was kind of worried about Brooklyn.
Yeah, I really was as well. It was such a gamble. What we heard about with
I heard that
Corner
pizza
Bakery.
place in 220 Riverside was not doing well, and I heard that you had that restaurant that just closed immediately, and you had heard talk about the new space next to 220 Riverside, and then you heard nothing for like a year and a half, and then Corner Bakery just closed.
Yeah,
but I think that's more of a problem for them than it is for Riverside.
They tried to blame it on us. They said it was part of our market issue because they also, I believe, closed their Deerwood location.
Yeah, they closed the Southside one too, which just tells you it's a franchise.
Yeah,
not necessarily a Jacksonville.
Well, they're not. The landlords are not coming out and saying what the actual issue is, and neither is the bakery. A third party is basically saying it's the market. Now, someone else came back and said that's an excuse.
Yeah.
Basically, someone else came along and said, actually, no, I take this back. I believe this actually was Corner Bakery. Came back and said the market has realigned, the growth has realigned around us. Basically, stuff has grown around us. We thought we were going to be the only market there.
Yeah.
Things have popped up around us, and it's taken away from market.
Oh, I thought they were saying we weren't upscale enough.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can leave and make room for Topgolf and IKEA.
Yeah, I mean, if that's your issue, go on.
Obviously, upmarket is actually coming to Jacksonville now.
And another thing, tag along with that, is they own like 3 other franchisees in Jacksonville. So
You're talking about,
the people that own this company that owns Corner Bakery, the franchise, in Jacksonville.
Yeah, if it's such a crap market.
Yeah, that's where I don't understand. And both of them were open at the same time. Both of them were 1,000 square feet.
And then I also hear the Deerwood one's already scheduled to have a barbecue place in it. So whatever.
Yeah,
and the Brooklyn one
is already taken.
Supposedly, if the deal goes through, it's a high-end Mexican restaurant.
Yes.
Okay.
Which could only mean a couple things. One of them being Flying Iguana.
Or Lana Polera.
Always Lana Polera.
Always Lana Polera.
But yeah, they're talking to a few people. They've got a few people interested. A few companies, should I say, interested.
Because you guys remember a little building across or catty corner from Ardwolf?
Yeah.
And they were like, a high-end Spanish-style Mexican restaurant.
Yeah,
it's a lot of.
It's big time for Jacksonville. Man, Jacksonville loves Lanop.
We do love some Lanop.
I mean,
keep cycling that stuff out. Have them going in side by side.
I mean,
it
is what it is.
But yeah, it's kind of weird that it's a high-end Mexican restaurant. They have to be drastically different.
Well, it's going to be something different because of the location.
Because Burrito Galleries were there.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
And they're not. I mean, they don't even really.
They're
call
not trash.
They don't really call themselves a Mexican restaurant. But
No, it's Tex-Mex. Sorry, Jax-Mex.
Yeah, it's Jax-Mex.
Let me rephrase that. Let me get that right.
Yeah, so that's some definite competition. So I'm thinking it has to have some serious.
It's going to be high upscale.
If it is Flying Iguana, that is good competition.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's the best margarita in town. It's very good.
Oh no, I've never had them.
I had one. So it's either that one or Dos Gatos, right?
Isn't yes, I would probably say right
with
there.
With their jalapeno, whatever.
Yes.
It's good.
It's right there because they're pretty daggum good.
But
I'd be pumped for it. I'd be definitely open for it.
There's offers if that falls through. There's already other offers.
Yes, I've already heard about 2 or 3 other offers. Nothing confirmed at the moment, but 2 or 3 other offers. I mean, when that space became available and they knew it was available, the phone was off the hook.
And it's literally been like a week or 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah, I literally just ate at it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I almost stop in at that place all the time because there's not a lot of drive-thrus in that area that are decent.
And the food was
almost wanting to stop in. I never did.
The food was good.
It was like a better Panera to me.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't say that much though.
No, I don't really care. I'll be honest. They can leave. I don't care. They can let the door hit them on the ass on the way out.
Accurate.
But
I don't like when stuff wants to leave or ends up leaving Jacksonville. I don't like it.
Yep. Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't either, but I mean, they all come back. Ask 7-Eleven.
I'd be concerned about it if they hadn't just announced a 10-story multi-purpose building across the street from it. So I think things are going to be keep on moving in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I just like you're saying with 200 Riverside coming up. You know, how it's going to be set. Like, are you going to be able to see the stores from the street? Like that, you don't feel invited to Hobnob. You don't feel invited to the Bricks. You don't feel invited to the other place next to Hobnob.
Yeah, this one looks like it's going to be set up better. They did release a new picture of it today, and it actually has like right up on the street, glass front facing the street. Like,
yeah, this one looks
like
really
nice.
nice.
You know, in like a urban context. So that would be better than.
That's much cleaner. I mean, you look at this. They've got it on Business Jacks. If you want to check it out. It's a lot more flush, a lot more welcoming.
Once you get into the little cove, I guess you want to call it.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. It's a cove.
It doesn't feel bad, but
it doesn't feel bad. I just feel like I'm not supposed to be there. Like I'm at when you're in a swimming pool at an apartment complex and you don't live there. You're like, this is great, but should I be here?
Yeah.
You always have that question, and I was like, I'm not supposed to be here.
That's all.
Yeah, I feel you. And to be honest, I've never eaten that Hobnob.
Me neither. I figured you would hit that up like immediately.
I was going to one day.
Mr. Good Eats?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe so. I know they're a liquor guy there. They're mixologists.
Well, see, you're one step in. So this one's going to be 4 stories taller.
Yeah. They had to, well, they want to call it Vista, then it has to have some kind of vista of the river, right? It's got to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Vista Brooklyn meets the building codes and the definition of a high-rise, which is any building which is occupied a floor of more than 75 feet off the ground.
Oh, so it's a legit high-rise. How righteous is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty psyched.
It will include in between 12,000 to 14,000 square feet of retail.
So there it is.
12,000? That's quite a few restaurants. At least 3. Because
it's just like I'm sorry.
Because you said the Corner Bakery was 4,000 square feet, and you said this was like between 13 and 14. Yeah, that's at least 3 good sized restaurants. That's not too shabby.
I said retail, so it
could be anything.
I think it's going to be like shops too.
Yeah.
Which would connect with what's there, and then
just like the other spots, because I think there's 2 spots. I think one of them was supposed to become a bank next to Hobnob. I don't know if it ever happened.
No, it was like a community space sponsored by a bank.
Oh, I thought they were actually going to have a bank inside there.
I thought so too, and then I went inside and they were just doing yoga.
Oh, interesting.
Weird.
Yeah, again, I felt like I wasn't supposed to be there, so immediately exited.
They expect the units to be higher priced than 220 Riverside.
Whoa!
Well, they just dropped the prices dramatically at 220 Riverside, supposedly.
I wonder what dramatic is.
I have to look at those prices then. Depending on what dramatic is.
1,500 instead of 1,600?
Yeah, it's only 1,500 for a studio now. We gotta talk somebody into living there so we can use that saltwater pool.
Heck yeah. This has Warnish written all over it.
Yeah.
The smallest unit will be 450 square foot studio apartment with an expected rental rate between $1,000 and $1,100.
450 square feet. I want you guys to put that in perspective. That is smaller than this room.
That's Korean.
That is smaller than the Boldcastify radio studios we're currently in. Which is not very big, I'm going to be honest.
Holy crap.
Big enough for a kitchen, though.
It's big enough for a kitchen.
Because it is basically a kitchen.
It is basically a kitchen.
And a liquor.
And a bakery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a...
So you can fit all your important stuff in there.
Yeah.
Liquor,
that's what I'm getting at.
And cabinets and a bed.
Yeah.
Maybe a TV on the wall.
Yeah, on the wall.
Can't have it sitting on the ground.
No.
Or on a stand.
You gotta trip over it.
Wow.
That sounds pretty Korean.
Higher rents will be justified because Vista Brooklyn will have more amenities than 220 Riverside.
More amenities?
More amenities?
Which will include a clubhouse, fitness center, outdoor courtyard, and kitchen, a rooftop pool,
Oh, that's awesome. I'm there. I'm there. We have me in the rooftop pool.
That's what we're talking about.
I've only been able to go into 2 rooftop pools in my lifetime. They are something unbelievable.
How many drones are going to be flying around that? Yeah, I'll be doing it. While apartments with units smaller than 500 square feet may seem like a hard sell in Jacksonville, Hallmark Partners, the managing partner, said the smaller apartments will likely be the first ones sold out.
I mean,
people are...
It is a tough sell on a big segment of Jacksonville, but
yes.
There's definitely a group of people that will buy this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder how big that group is. I hope it's here.
I don't think people realize how many people are moving to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's constantly being filled up with folks from outside the area that are looking for $15 bowls of ramen and $1,000.
I mean, we are moving up in the tech world.
Yeah, tech jobs. You were here like three Boldcasts ago. We were talking about this is like a hotbed for tech,
and so you're gonna start catering to that group.
And I guess the tech gurus, they do not like space.
They like efficiency.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm psyched. I wonder what they're gonna put at the bottom level, because I'm always kind of intrigued.
That's really the interesting part. They said the average rent, the last piece, is going to be between $1,700 and $1,800.
That's not as outrageous as I originally thought, honestly.
No,
but I mean, high.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not for the penny pinchers.
It's more than like a 3,000 square foot home.
Wow. When you put that in perspective,
well, I mean, in certain areas, I'd say it's probably. I could probably say it's less than $250,000, a $250,000 mortgage.
yeah.
So when you
Hopefully, some people have like 2 tech jobs when they move down here. They're like double dipping and doing Uber.
Yeah.
I mean, daggone, man! If I could score a job like that, I'd be winning.
Yeah, something. Either way, but Corner Bakery shut down. I mean, but
Good riddance.
Yeah, good riddance. It's not. It was no loss.
I said my feelings.
It's just amazing how siloed the development is to me. Like an unstoppable juggernaut with Riverside, just constantly filling up every small inch of space. When they built the Black Sheep building, that was just this awkward triangle of land.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, well, let's build a 3-story building. They're just taking up every tiny piece of space in Riverside, and then immediately across the bridge, it's just a barren wasteland.
When you imagine they don't do anything over there.
La Villa and going into like the urban core downtown, it's just an immediate drop off. But you're even seeing development there.
Starting to.
Right across the bridge is they're going to build an apartment complex right across the bridge from Brooklyn.
Really?
Yeah, it's workforce housing. So like you could, like if you make more than 35 or 36,000 a year, you can't even live there. It's the idea is to have affordable housing in the area.
Oh, kind of balance out everything.
Yeah, and so if you're like starting out and you want to live cheap, but you want to live in that area, you'll be able to do that. Huh. And you'll be able to do it right off of the Skyway. It's like right next to the stop. So that's a cool idea.
That was kind of the concept or idea of Brooklyn.
Yeah, well,
that didn't work.
Well, it wasn't really affordable.
To move the Skyway?
Oh, yeah, that and to live there.
No.
It's definitely affordable to make a Brooklyn stop because it exists. Yeah. It's already there.
Yeah, it's already there. They just gotta.
I just saw it hiding in the bushes when I was at Burrito Gallery. Like, damn, it's right there.
They just need to finish that little piece up and hook it on in.
Yeah.
Brooklyn stop is already done.
You are seeing a little bit of hope for downtown development, though.
Yes, you are. You're starting to see a lot more progression. In my opinion, you're starting to see little increments of it.
In Jacksonville terms, it feels like a boom.
Well, it does. Technology news. Look at the gaming bar.
Oh, dude, why aren't we there right now?
We should be. We should be doing this live. Actually, that would be coming up in future podcasts.
Video games.
That's and fine. More of
that'll be coming soon.
I think Jacksonville is just scared of change.
It's scared to take chances.
Yes.
I mean,
both.
We're talking about a whole bunch of stuff that's brand new to Jackson. I hope that gamer bar takes off because I've always said it'd be a big hit, but I don't know. It's the first one.
Yeah, well, I've always wanted something like this.
Well, didn't you tell me earlier that the game bar it's like attached to the pizza place?
Yes, it is. For anyone that doesn't know, it's attached to Chicago Pizza.
Is it part of Chicago Pizza?
No, they are not affiliated directly with Chicago Pizza, but they do have a working relationship.
Can you order pizza?
Yes, you can order pizza from Chicago Pizza or from the gaming place.
Is that where they used to have the Rush Street nightclub thing? I'm guessing. Because that used to be the thing connected with Chicago Pizza. Yeah.
I was trying to remember what was back there, then that obviously is it.
But yeah, strike one for this place is it's in the landing.
Yeah, that is strike one. That does.
Probably cheap rent, I imagine.
Yeah. I hope that it's one of the 3 places that does well at the landing.
Besides all those Chinese restaurants upstairs.
Do they do well?
They've got to. There's hundreds of them.
I just assume they're a front for some sort of money laundering.
There's at least 3 to 4.
I always assume that. The name of the bar or the name of the place is called Good Luck, Have Fun. Yeah, I'm somewhere in that ballpark. But its abbreviation is GLHF Game Bar. They have their own menu, cocktails, all that good stuff, and they have their own little appetizer menu.
Oh, that's pretty rad.
You can still order Chicago Pizza, and they'll bring it out to you.
But the really rad part is it's got a whole bunch of different consoles, all generations of games.
And it's
including
got
cutting edge and classics.
You can go anywhere from PlayStation 4, Neo, or whatever it is.
VR. They had the VR. They had the new Arkham Asylum game in the VR goggles.
Amazing.
Which sounds really cool. And I'm never going to buy a system to try it, so that might be the way I play it.
And they had the Xbox, they had the Wii.
I saw pictures of them actually have like the old school arcades.
That's cool.
Yes, it did. They had Mario Brothers, the actual original Mario Brothers arcade. They had Pac-Man, Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time? That's a weird choice.
I wonder.
There's another arcade. I just can't remember it.
I wonder if they're going to rotate them out because I know that's what Engine 15 does.
Arcades? Mm-hmm. They just rotate them out?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess there must be like an underground market for rotating arcades.
Well, that's the problem. Old arcades, it's like doing like an old arcade retro gaming is so expensive to maintain.
Yeah.
And old games.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's a lot more expensive.
It's a real specialty niche.
Yes,
when it comes to fixing them.
Yes,
that's the problem a lot of times.
Not the 80s anymore, the 90s.
I figured they were more simple, to be honest.
It is, but the parts are becoming more scarce.
Oh,
I guess there's a lot of specialty parts.
Yes.
Yeah, I just figured since the market is starting to come back, because I remember talking to the guy at Engine 15 about 2 years ago about it, and he goes, yeah, we want to rotate these old game systems out every 3 or 4 months, and I was wondering how efficient that is.
I feel like there's no need if you've got X-Men the arcade game, any Mortal Kombat, and then either Simpsons arcade game or Ninja Turtles arcade game. They're basically the same thing.
It's generally, yeah.
Just walk around and beat up guys.
I don't know.
It's beautiful.
But to give a highlight, they've got a nice selection of PlayStation 4 Pro games. Of course, as Justin was talking about, the Arkham Asylum VR game.
Yeah, that was the thing that stood out the most to me.
They've got Xbox One, a decent little list. Your regular ones, your Gears of Wars and all.
Do they have the Sega, the new Sega that you can only get online? No, not a Sega game. It's a new console
that you can get online.
Yeah, you can only purchase it online.
I didn't know there's a new Sega console.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this. Do they have Sega Dreamcast?
I do not see a Sega Dreamcast, actually, which is shocking. The guy I talked to, I did speak to someone, they said they are going to be adding more consoles.
I demand a Sega Saturn.
But
I'm the only person that demands a Sega Saturn.
Pretty much. I have a bad memory with those. They do have an Xbox 360, one game, Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
That's a good one.
It's not bad. They have N64, Wii, Wii U, GameCube, Super NES, and NES games.
Did you say Genesis?
No.
I didn't hear you say Genesis. What is this? What is this discrimination? If you're going to be a gamer bar, you have to have Sega stuff in there.
I mean, they just went to the primary ones first, the better ones.
The better ones.
Sega Dreamcast was
way ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was out of this world.
We're just now catching up with how revolutionary it was. But, I mean, to not have a Genesis? GTFO.
Yeah, I agree.
You
can't
even
play games.
I do.
You can't have any Shinobi. You can't have any Streets of Rage. You can't have any Echo the Dolphin.
You have a Super Nintendo, you're good.
No, Super Nintendo. That's the one time Sega was markedly better. It was absolutely better. Way more games, because Sega does when Nintendo don't. They had all the...
Oh, that...
They worked, too. They had all the games that Nintendo wouldn't make.
And Mortal Kombat had the blood where...
Yeah, and then it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, because N64. And then Nintendo went downhill.
I wonder...
Yeah.
And the third party, first party, however you want to do it. But yeah, it seems like a very cool bar. Very cool aspects. Concepts are really, really cool. They have all kinds of murals on the wall, paintings, and all kinds of different stuff. There's a whole row of PCs on one side. I'm going to say maybe a dozen. So,
yeah,
if you're a PC gamer, you want to do like League of Legends, World of Warcraft, whatever else there is. I'm not really sure. Doom, is that this whole thing? You can hop on there and...
Probably a lot of MMORPGs.
Yes. That was really big in Korea. There's a lot of places called PC rooms, and it was just like... a whole room full of gamer computers, and then you could buy like energy drinks to get yourself hype. It's real popular over there.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty popular. I mean, here's an example. That's one picture of it.
I'm gonna check it out pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll definitely go down there, check out, do a show or something. It's nice to see something like that down here in Jacksonville. It's a nice change.
Like I said, signs of life.
Yes, and that's what we need downtown.
And you've got like the district is gonna start breaking ground next year. And then there's like a new hope for around the stadium, what they're going to do over there.
What do you think about that with the Berkman and all good stuff?
I don't know if the situation with the Berkman's just like...
Because they're saying now it may not even be a hotel or anything. They're not sure about the rezoning.
I don't know. I really have no clue. It could just be rezoning it to make it easier to... It could be because somebody's actually interested in...
Purchasing
it and doing something with the space. I think it's just forever a tough sell until you have complementing stuff nearby.
And which makes sense. That definitely makes a lot of sense. Now, what's your opinion on the possible swap?
I was all about it a couple months back, and
it looks like it's going to happen a little bit faster now.
I was laughed off like a crazy person.
This is true. A few people I know have definitely laughed at you about it. I didn't think it was going to happen as quickly as it was.
I did not think it was going to happen as easily either, at all.
Well, it hasn't happened.
No, it definitely hasn't happened.
But
so I mean, let's not kick chickens before they have.
But the whole thing is that the mayor is talking about it at this point. It's not just like a crazy conspiracy theory.
No,
he's actually talking about getting rid of useless roads now.
Yeah, he's talking about clearing the path for the whole thing.
Yes,
$50 million.
He wants to demo part of the Hart Bridge.
Well, an off ramp.
Yeah, I mean the bridge is going to stay there.
The bridge is going to stay there. I mean the bridge doesn't go anywhere. But the ramps that basically give you a beautiful passing view of Overbank Field. They'll take you past everything until you get to downtown.
It is a cool picture.
Well, the whole purpose of it was for 50 years ago. No one wanted to stop by the industrial area because basically it was all kind of nasty and built up and a lot more industrial than even Talleyrand is now.
Yeah,
and it was very smelly.
And plus that traffic doesn't exist anymore.
Nope.
It was its own set of traffic.
Yeah, it had its own group of traffic and people that went down for their games for like 1 game a year, 2 game a year.
It's pretty unnecessary. Maybe make a lot of space for other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as we've already looked at it on the map, there's a couple voids there of just dead space.
Yeah, of course.
What did you say earlier? Just like a triangle of bullshit?
Yeah, try. That's more appropriate.
You were close.
Triangle of bullshit or whatever, triangle of shit or something.
There's like a whole block. No, block of bullshit.
A block of bullshit.
There's a block that's just nothing but a big patch of cement with an overpass going over top of it, so like nothing could go there. Now they're good. So that's cool.
That's pretty rad.
So I mean, imagine the possibilities there if you just get in there and take that overpass down.
That's good.
It would definitely be able to market that area. I mean, Shah Khan wants to build a hotel over there. I mean, look at the view you got. A dang overpass, 2 levels.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that's absolutely why it's happening, is because Shad Khan wants it to happen, and that upsets some people.
Yes, it definitely does, because everyone's thinking that the mayor is placating to Shad, and that this is all Shad, taxpayers and Shad. He's getting what he wants with the stadium. He's doing this. This is what everyone's assuming.
Yeah.
Well,
but stuff is happening downtown.
Well,
that's what people don't want to.
Big money makes big moves, right?
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Money talks.
And BS walks. Those ramps are outdated. They've been needing repair. As the mayor even pointed out, there's no side ramps or emergency lanes on the ramps.
Yeah, and if you really want to get everybody in the city on board, you just got to speak their love language. And the reality is it's probably going to cost more to repair them than it would be to get rid of them.
And expand them, because I think new roads, in order to be up to date with our current laws of the road, I think there has to be like a side lane so you can get off.
Yeah,
on interstates.
The cost to renovate.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's no emergency lane.
Yeah,
it's dumb. So
you're talking something 50 years ago, and they just been, it's good, let's let it ride. But at least now there's motivation, even if it didn't initiate for the mayor. There's still motivation. At least he's on board. Get him out of there. It was unsightly.
Yeah, you look at the way back pictures. There's like a whole neighborhood right there, and it's just like, get on out of here.
Yeah, you don't need to be here.
Yeah.
Bye.
And then we're just kind of reverting back. Jacksonville's best case scenario is reverting back to the way it was turn of the century, at least structurally.
Are we going to start calling that Oakland again?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
No,
because that's what the area used to be called. But
well, then probably yeah. Once whatever ramen bar opens up in that area, they will call it Oakland.
But the area,
I don't like it.
Well,
I don't like Oakland.
I don't have an opinion on Oakland, to be honest.
Well, I do.
Why?
They hate the NFL.
They hate the NFL?
Yeah.
Why does Oakland hate the NFL?
I don't know.
They love MC Hammer.
Yes. I don't get it.
Too legit.
Priorities.
Moving on.
About the Shipyards.
Yeah, Shipyards.
What do you think about the potential of, as we were saying, the land swap and the actual movement of everything? Met Park moving to the current Shipyards, and the acreage difference being, you're going from 40 to 32. You see that as a problem?
No, I think it's...
You think that's more ideal because of location-wise?
I think...
Because it's essentially right across.
Metro Park. Metro Park is public property that doesn't feel public at all.
No.
Most of it's shut off to the public, and then you've got the marina, which I guess is technically public.
There's a marina?
Yeah. In the back, that's... Whenever you see pictures of people tailgating on their boat for a Jaguar game, they're doing it over there.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that. Yeah.
And so there's a lot of private uses for that public space.
Yeah.
And you look over at the awkward shape of the Shipyards, and most of it's right on the river. There's a bunch of it jutting out into the river, and I just see a lot of potential for cool stuff you could do with that. You could finally have a place where you can like a really solid spot to go fishing downtown. You'd have a lot of people using that space. If they ever get the USS Adams down here, there's a perfect spot for it right there.
That would be ideal. That would be amazing for the USS Adams right there.
And then all of a sudden there's going to be people using that park all the time.
Yep. And basically it would kind of give Shot a blank canvas in some aspects. Not totally, but generally blank canvas for that park.
Plenty to do.
Because, you've already got the amphitheater and a number of things, or whatever you want to call that, and flex field attached to the bank. So that knocks that out of the picture, but there's still a number of aspects to be going over.
Oh yeah, he wants to build a dang hotel. I think that's why he bought the rights to the hotel up in Toronto, was so he could build one down here, because we don't have one in Jacksonville. I forget what.
Four Seasons?
Yeah.
He's gonna build a Four Seasons down here?
That was a speculation. I'm not sure, but I think that was the reason why he bought that one up there, so he could own a controlling stake in it.
I haven't heard that rumor, but I like that rumor.
It's a solid rumor. Jason just started a rumor.
Yeah, it's just a rumor.
So Shot's building Four Seasons here, huh?
Yes, that's
pretty cool.
That is 100% true. That's something I just heard recently.
Yeah, that's something you just heard. Breaking news on the Boldcaster show.
I'm all about that idea, the hotel across the street. I think the idea is Shad wants to be able to have people, when they travel to Jacksonville, they could be in that one spot and be like, hey, Jacksonville's not a bad part of town, without actually having to fix everything that's wrong with our downtown. He could just make his own mini downtown.
And that's the concept I think he would rather really.
And that only ultimately benefits the city. So,
I think it probably doesn't make Intuition as happy, but
I think it would make Intuition very happy.
No, it does. Obviously, it does in general, but they probably would have rather had the Shipyards a little closer to them.
It's still going to be plenty
Close. I understand.
Plenty
It's going to be
near.
much better than what it was or what it is. What I'm saying.
I mean, look at their situation on King Street.
Yeah.
People talk about how they spurred on all the development over there.
Yeah.
They were not close at all.
And they did. They really honestly did, but they weren't very close at all. You couldn't walk easily from Kickbacks to Intuition.
No, they were in a very obscure part of King Street,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So, plenty of potential down there, especially with the warehouses behind Intuition.
Yes.
And they want to use those for complementing purposes. Who knows what that ends up being?
I have no idea what that means, yeah.
But I think Intuition will be happy they moved downtown. Good timing. Really good timing.
Yeah. All right, 2 other things real quick. What do you think about the proposal about making it easier to drink and dining in Jacksonville?
Accurate.
Well, yeah, we talked about this on other podcasts, like when they were doing that with like you got the craft beer moving into Springfield.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
That's
similar stuff.
Yeah, similar stuff. I mean, it should have already been in place, I feel.
We've got one model of success for revitalizing old neighborhoods, and
Yeah.
they're going to start
It's obviously
following it.
worked, yeah, because, I mean, Jim Love and Gaffney both have urged Florida legislature to amend the Florida statute for special zones in certain areas in Springfield and Murray Hill.
Murray Hill's going to blow up before Springfield.
Yeah.
It's
It's already there.
already there, yeah.
Yeah, it's essentially already there. All the architecture, and pretty much they just want to do kind of what was already speculated and what we've talked about in an earlier podcast. And yeah,
And 20 years from now, we'll still be talking about how Springfield's about to blow up.
unfortunately, but yeah, that's true. It's always on the cusp, and will always be on the cusp. Areas impacted by this proposal, and likewise, include the established Murray Hill commercial area, excluding all churches, schools, nonprofit. Both sides of Edgewood Avenue between I-10 and Roosevelt Boulevard, parcels fronting Roosevelt Boulevard between Edgewood and Owen Avenue. I don't even know where Owen is. By the I-10, Lenox Avenue, and Woodruff Avenue. Included in the parcels for the Springfield area from Main Street, both sides of Main Street, from 1st Street to 20th Street.
I wonder how many blocks that is.
I wonder.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot for Springfield.
And also Pearl Street on west to Walnut Street.
So like most of Springfield.
That's a big chunk of Springfield.
Why not? You know?
Wow, that's a...
Look what craft beer did for King Street.
Yeah.
Let it happen, Springfield.
I'm all about it. I mean, I'm definitely amended with it. That's a special edition of the Boldcasters. Thanks for joining us. My name's Clay.
I'm Justin.
My name's Shay.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud. Yeah, any other website you can think
Pinterest.
of. Pinterest.
Yep.
Throw in something else. Instagram. I said it already? Probably did. MySpace. Google.
LiveJournal.
Tumblr.
Foursquare.
Swarm. Snapchat.
I think we might have covered them all, guys.
That's all.
That's all I can think of. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Be Duval. Be proud.
Family show. Family show. Family show.